Hello everybody, welcome to Sophie Sweets Academy. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this beautiful Mother's Day rose bouquet. This is a very elegant dessert. It has gold flakes because moms deserve the best. And this is actually one of my favorite desserts to make. If you'd like to learn how to make this, then keep watching. I'm starting off by showing you how I make the stems. This is the easiest and the best way that I've found to make it. So you're going to roll out the fondant in a snake shape. And then once you get it to a good length, you're going to get your fondant smoother and then just roll it out with the fondant smoother. The problem with using your fingers entirely to make the snake is that eventually you're going to have uneven spaces and then they're going to break off because some areas of the stem are going to be really thin and then the other one's a little bigger. You also get like little indentations where your fingers were, but rolling it out with a fondant smoother does not make this happen. It evens it out entirely and you have one long even stem. And these are the rest of my stems. I'm only doing 4 because our bouquet is pretty small. If you do a little more than that, it's okay, no big deal. And this is a fondant cutter I use to make the little leaves. I don't know where I got this, I've had this for a while, but I like that when you press down on it, it creates the little leaf pattern on it, which I think is really cute. Alright, now we get to assemble our cupcakes. So I just have 7 here. I feel like this is a good amount to have for a small bouquet. And to glue the cupcakes onto your base, I use frosting. In the past, I've tried to use tape. I've tried to use a hot glue gun to, glue these on. Because for me, I used to think that having frosting under the cupcakes was just a little too messy for me. But tape doesn't work and hot glue gun, it doesn't work either because the cupcake liners absorb any type of oil from the cupcakes and anything you try to stick on like tape or glue just will not adhere to the paper. So just use frosting to glue these down. Nobody cares if there's a little frosting under the cupcakes. And now we get to frost our little roses. I started doing these and then I realized that I wasn't recording, so I had to scrape the frosting off and then start over. So for this design, you're going to start out filling the outside cupcakes and then finish with the center. So here we go. So what you do is, I'm just going to pick one up. What you do is you start off in the middle. And you don't want to ever be this close to the cupcake because the metal from the tip will just basically shape your frosting as well. So you're going to just ruin the whatever shape you're doing. So you always want to be kind of a little above here. And you just do a little swirl. Like that. See how pretty? I don't like starting off away from the surface because there's going to be little holes or little gaps here and you're going to have to fill it with the frosting. So that's why I like to keep everything here and just frost everything while I'm here instead of individually, because if you do it individually then you're for sure going to have the gaps. See how the end ends this way? Let me show you. So I ended it this way. So try to always end your little swirls that way because it just looks more uniform and less messy. So sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes you just kind of lose focus and it's fine if you don't do that. But I recommend ending the same way, that way it all looks uniform. So let's do a swirl. See how I'm not close to the cake and then ending it there. And see how there was a little gap here and I kind of just filled it with the frosting. So then let's do this other one. So every time I see a gap, I do a little more pressure onto the bag. That way it just conceals it.
So here's a gap right here, and I'm gonna just show you guys. Hopefully you guys can see. See how I went over that with the frosting? You can't really see a gap anymore. And then when I finish with the center rose, it's gonna be a lot better because there's gonna be no gaps. So we'll swirl. There we go, and then last rose. Middle swirl. I'm trying to go over every little gap. And that's it. And this is how it should look.
And this is just a zoom in clip, just for you to see how to swirl. So you're gonna start with the center, and you can do clockwise, counterclockwise, doesn't matter. And notice how I said in the previous video, the tip here is a little elevated. It's not ever really touching the frosting, it's just a little in the air, and then my hand creating pressure for the frosting to come out. To add the stems, again, you're going to use frosting. This is just the best way to glue them onto the board. And I'm also adding a fondant bow. You can also add a real bow if that's what you like. And now cut off any excess stems.
And now for the last finishing touch, I have gold leaves that I'm going to put. Make sure that these are cold, because if it's soft, it's just going to be super messy. So make sure that when you apply gold leaves, that everything is nice and hard. So what you do is you just pick up the little leaf, and they break really, really easily. You just randomly put them wherever you want. These give the cupcakes such a classy look. And especially if this is for your mom, I mean, you really want it to be fancy, right?
And this is a final result. If you make this, please tag me on Instagram. I love seeing your work. I'll see you next Wednesday for Whisk It Wednesdays. Bye.